It's the Two Strange Podcast.
You don't want to break the flow, do you?
You do
Tom?
not. You do not break the flow.
Don't break the flow. We
are the flow makers.
Yeah.
To make sure you don't break the flow.
We are well on our way to having 30 episodes. And then, guaranteed that you are a successful podcast. That's it. We'd have made it.
Because it's all mentality, I think.
Yeah.
Whether that's, 10 people watching or 30.
No. I'm just assuming, right, that after 30,
somebody picks it up.
Listenership will increase, exponentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's the digital world that we live in. Just keep doing it, and eventually, PewDiePie famous.
Absolutely.
I've just aged myself there.
Yeah.
Who's famous now?
Mr. Beast. It's all about Mr. Beast.
Well, I thought he was he was a controversial figure now.
They're all controversial figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Are
the
we
problem.
controversial figures?
Look, if there was more of an audience, yes, we'd be controversial figures.
Oh.
Yeah. Right now, though, we've only got controversial fingers. Come here. I'm going to tickle you. Ah!
Yeah, so we're tired today, folks. What was last night?
What was last night? Last night was our special Oscars ceremony for all of our film students.
Called Boskers.
Yeah. You made that up.
I did. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. And, it was good. I played some... we had a drum kit. Someone was doing the rim shot.
They were, when you kept going, let's get them to do the rim shot, which...
No one's laughing at that, though, except the only one who had a problem with the word rim shot was you.
Because then you'd raise your eyebrow, every single time.
No,
like you were like a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. So, if anyone doesn't know, a rim shot is the badum-ts sound that comes after a joke. Yeah. And what Tom's imagining... What am I imagining? I don't exactly know, because a rim shot, surely that's something to do with basketball, right?
Yeah, but you didn't always call it a rim shot.
What is a rim shot in its most dirty?
No, because there's a couple of times that you forgot to say. You were thought you said rim shot, but it came out rim job.
No.
Yeah, it definitely did.
No.
It definitely did.
That's just... I mean, look...
Anyway, it's hearsay, because they weren't there.
Yeah, and like our podcast, it's hearsay. Yeah. You're here, we're saying it, hearsay.
Speaking of things that may not have happened or be real, what is our topic today?
Okay, good. All right. Get us on topic.
That's the loosest segue I can give you.
He's a tired boy. Okay, so... we're going to be looking at house spirits that live inside your house. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at, there's two, we're going to go for an east and west sort of depiction of this idea of house spirits. What, from a cultural aspect, how they relate to basic life and stuff like that.
Can I just say, I don't want to spend an hour talking about Dobby, so can we just forget that depiction of a house elf exists?
Yes, okay.
Because Dobby's a dickhead.
To be honest with you,
the most controversial thing I've said so far.
That's the title of this.
Dobby's a dickhead.
That's it, done.
Yeah.
It's in the bag. Well done, Tom. So you're very tired today, but you're still contributing.
That's
why I like you.
I don't even dislike Dobby. I just wanted that as a title.
Yeah.
You're all right, Dobby. Pour one out.
You're like the house elf of this podcast. You know that?
Yeah, I see that. I definitely feel locked into this building.
I haven't locked the door.
Right, he's gone to physically lock us in, folks. We are now safe from the hobs and the brownies and the Christmas. Yeah.
One thing, I mean, we're going to be talking about lots of different creatures that live in your house, for example, in UK folk lore, etc. Can we just make it very clear what we mean by brownies?
Yeah. So I don't mean cakes.
You don't mean cakes, no?
And I'm not being racist.
And you're not being racist.
So
Absolutely
in Scotland,
there
are, and quite a lot of these spirits are actually goblin type creatures, aren't they? Particularly hobs and brownies, like this side of the aisle. They're depicted as quite short goblin-like creatures.
I guess so. Yeah,
a lot of the time.
I mean, it all depends on how you like define them. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Tom, like, they don't exist, do they? Or do they?
Do they?
Do they?
I mean, are we here to
just
like,
poo-poo it or?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of house spirits.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay.
Well, some of them.
Okay, yeah.
Some of them are dickheads like Dobby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely and I think that's part of it. Like, one thing I do find is that like spirits that live inside your house are often there to judge.
Yeah, and they can be mischievous because they want it a certain way, right? And they're usually leftover kind of feelings and emotions manifested is the idea of a lot of them, right?
I guess so.
And they've probably been in that house or in that structure for a lot longer than you've been alive, so they have thoughts. It's kind of like having your great grandmother still in the house and be like, well, that didn't happen back in my day. Like, back in your day, people would saw their legs off because they had an headache. Like, let's just chill out, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's start with the idea of Western household spirits. And I love a gnome. I love a good gnome. I won't have them.
Do you have some in your garden? I was gonna say.
No, I don't have any in my garden. No, I'm not.
Why not?
I'm not that sort of gnome lover. To
You're
be honest
a gnome
with you.
racist.
In Dungeons and Dragons, I will often want to play gnomes, or like when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, it's like a chibi sort of RPG in my mind. To be honest with you.
Why? And that makes so about a year ago, folks.
Yeah.
We were gonna play D&D as part of like a staff thing, and I've DM'd before I understand the game. What was the first thing you started googling away, heckling to yourself for about an hour, and then you was like, Tom, what would you allow in your game? And I said, well, it's a homebrew, do what you want. Yeah. And then you went away again on the keys. What did you ask me? Do you remember?
Well, I can't remember, but like I basically made a UK chav character, so he was like clad in Burberry and stuff like that, and
who did he have with him?
He had an XL bully dog.
Yeah, that you made me make stats for.
Yeah, and then we never played.
Yeah,
well,
I made a stat block for him and everything.
Yeah, but I like I like little cute characters, and then killing other little cute characters. That's what it ends up being a lot of the time. Okay. I think.
Well,
in my mind.
So everyone is like a chibi. It's just gnome on gnome warfare.
Yes, yeah, but also like other creatures and stuff like that, like a bullywug.
Right.
And what are the fish ones? Cocoas or something like that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. Anyway, so there are several different types of house dwellers. Okay, so say for example, in Scotland, as you mentioned, you've got brownies who can clean and help with chores, but they can turn malicious if they're offended. If they're not offered payment or they're insulted or something like that. In Northern England, where Tom is from, we've got house hobs.
Yes.
Which are grumpy, earthy beings who guard heaths or barns.
Very similar to actual northern people.
Yeah. So I've never been up north. Okay. What is a heath?
A heath?
Yeah.
It's a type of house, right?
Is it?
Usually built into the hill, I think.
Oh, okay. Built into the hill?
Yeah. I thought heaths... I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought heaths were kind of like, carved out and kind of on a grass hill.
Okay. All right.
I could be wrong, though. That's what I imagine when I imagine a heath.
So these sort of creatures are often there to bless the home, but then they are also mischievous and they can turn milk sour and stuff like that.
Oh, don't turn my milk sour.
Well, they do other things as well. You could pretty much blame anything on a house hob if you wanted to. This happened. He's killed all of my cows.
What's that phenomenon that happens at Christmas time? And is that a little naughty elf and you like position it, and it's like throwing your ketchup bottle everywhere. And
What, the elf on the shelf?
Elf on the Shelf, that's it.
How's it throwing the ketchup bottle?
But like you'll position it so it's like, you know, looking down, and then the ketchup's all on the floor or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Is that just me?
Do you do this at home? What is this?
No, I've never done it. I've just seen it on social media.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Like people doing naughty things with Elves on the Shelf.
okay.
Like,
Fair enough.
like sort of, you know, the moment after. So you'll have something broken, and all the little elves will be. I'm making it sound like it's a cult, aren't I?
Yeah, the other day you were telling me about like people linking like their social media to like OnlyFans and stuff like that. So like, do you know what I mean? Is the elf like up people's asses and stuff? Whoops! What's happened?
What was that? How did that come about? I remember talking about that OnlyFans started as like a way for bands to do interviews and stuff. I don't remember talking about linking social media.
Really?
Yeah.
Bands?
Yeah. Like,
OnlyFans?
like bands would make an OnlyFans because it was supposed to be like a behind the scenes sort of app.
Oh well.
And then, like all things on the internet, it became porn.
Okay.
But that's the cyclical cycle of the internet, isn't it? I've made this app that's going to enrich people's lives. Can you upload stuff on it? Yes. Porn.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that OnlyFans started not as porn?
OnlyFans started for like musicians and filmmakers to do behind the scenes stuff to give content to fans.
Oh my god.
And then someone was like, I can make people pay for porn. And then that's basically what it is now.
Yeah, okay.
But that was never the intention. In fact, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago where OnlyFans said they were going to get rid of all the porn.
Nah, bollocks are they? No way.
And they warned all their users, and then they quickly realised that there's maybe like 50 users on there that aren't like porn, and thought, yeah, probably not, and then never did it.
Serves them right. Now they've just got porn and they're raking in the money. Oh dear. Terrible.
Yeah, what a shame.
What a shame, eh? Yeah. Okay, so now there's a little Yorkshire folk tale called the Farndale Hob that I can share with you.
I'm very familiar with it as someone that lives near Yorkshire.
You are?
No, not at all. I've never heard of it at all.
Okay, so there's a folktale in Yorkshire called the Farndale Strangler. No, the Farndale Hob.
We're going back to serial killers here.
Absolutely. The Farndale Hob, and it's about a woman who owns a farm, and she one night awakes to the sounds coming from a barn. They go to investigate, and they can't find anything, but they keep investigating and stuff like that. And this commotion's going on night after night. They don't know what's going on, but what they do notice is that all of their jobs are done for them, all of their chores, etc. And they're well pleased. They're well chuffed with that. So what they do is they decide to leave out their best cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good award.
Yeah, their best cream. Cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Is that where that comes from?
Cream of the crop. Rise to the top.
To quote an earlier episode, Arion. Is it Arion? Or no, that's the name
your
of the
mind's
film,
blown, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happens is that they get into this habit of regularly giving this cream to this imaginary being, yeah, and then the husband dies.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the story?
That's the end of the story. That's the end. But you think that's a bit of a downer to end it like that. But the reality is the story continues, okay? Because he dies and they stop leaving the cream out. But then things start fucking up. Okay, so she's got a new husband and everything like that, but they're not leaving the cream out because I guess like the husband did that and not the woman and stuff. So like the woman goes to investigate and stuff like that, and everything's just going wrong. Like the milk's going sour, as I said. The dog, the ducks are up the cow's arse. What else?
Oh.
What else could go wrong?
What?
What else?
Fork being put in the wrong place and smacking someone like a
absolutely.
slapstick.
Yeah, anything like that is going on. That's going on. But So basically, one day she's in the barn and she was like, "Oh yeah," to her friend. She's like, "We're gonna have to leave." And so they leave. They getting ready to leave and they're having this conversation. And at one point, she says, "Oh, it really has come to it. We're flitting." And then she hears the voice from somewhere else say, "Aye, it were flitting."
You can't see this, but I'm shaking my head at this absolute character assassination.
How
of
do
my own accent.
how do Yorkshiremen speak? Is that like what is it?
I'm not doing that.
Go on,
I don't think I can.
go on, do a good Yorkshire. Go on for me.
Oh, my nan's from Yorkshire. Like,
If your nan's from Yorkshire, so are you. Okay, so do the accent of your people.
Sorry, is that how that works?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do a Yorkshire accent now.
Do an accent of your people. I don't know where you're from. God. You're an enigma to me.
I mean, like, I can't actually in this. I can't actually in this dimension actually.
In this dimension, you think
I
you're from a
can't-
different dimension?
I can't present the reptile alien accent to you. Yeah.
Well, just kind of like, burst forth.
I'll give it a go.
Don't swear at me like that. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, do a Yorkshire accent. Go on, quick, do it.
I can't.
You don't know. That's why.
Yeah, I don't really know. But it's not that.
Aye.
No,
we're
it's not.
flitting.
It's not that.
Aye, yeah,
Like,
we're flitting. Yeah. And she
drop
and,
your H's.
and the creature, a hairy little creature. Yeah. Like you, Tom.
Right, good. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Can't resist. I can't resist you, you hairy little creature.
Honestly, you've been hitting on me for days. It's getting pathetic now.
I've still got alcohol in me. Yeah, so basically, this hob basically says, yeah, well, you shouldn't have been a prick.
Yeah.
Basically, and then that's the end of the story. There's
Oh,
no
okay.
like this woman basically going to the hob. Well, all right, well, like, sorry, I'll leave the cream out for you.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, it's done.
Yeah.
And that's the story.
They're quite petty, aren't they, really?
They're quite petty. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, well, I didn't tell you what I wanted, but the fact that you didn't do it, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, but there's like loads of different variations of this. It's very similar to that. It's like, they're protective, they're there for your house, but they're a bit rubbish.
With this story, right?
Yeah.
So you leave the cream out, and then if you keep leaving the cream out, you get good stuff. So, is Santa a hob?
Yeah, this is what I was going to say. Like, the thing is though, like, there's different degrees of separation from this because you've got hobs and elves and things like that. You've got the elves and the shoemaker that are coming in and making things and stuff like that, and then you've got like Father Christmas and his elves. His elves are making things. They're probably cousins of the shoemaker elves.
Yeah.
Okay, but like. Yeah, it's all different variations, and it's just like...
Why are we obsessed with small things making small things?
I think that's because we want that in real life. How amazing would that be to just like have like a little fleet of people that can just like do your bidding?
This is just your D&D game gone wild now.
It'd be good though, wouldn't it? Like,
What, just like a bunch of like small minions? We were talking earlier about that you like Despicable Me. You just want to be Gru. We your little minions.
yes, actually, yeah. Like he's very similar to Father Christmas, isn't he? In that way, the old Gru.
Yeah, I mean he's got a factory, I guess.
I fucking love Steve Carell as well.
Oh, like
I fucking love
Yeah.
Steve Carell. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My face.
I fucking love Steve Carell.
my face brightens when he comes on screen,
Yeah,
and it's all because of The Office. Like,
yeah, he's great.
he's so good.
And are they redoing it? Did I make that up?
He's not in it. He's not touching that again.
Oh, is he
He's
not?
done his time. He's
No,
done
but
his
like
time.
they're just redoing it, right?
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
it'd be good. I think maybe. Probably not.
I mean, the seasons without Steve Carell were rubbish, weren't they?
Yeah.
And now they're going to swap Steve Carell with Domhnall Gleeson.
And as we've established, we fucking love.
Absolutely, with our whole hearts,
Yeah.
love Steve Carell.
If Steve Carell was a house spirit, and never leave the house.
I would absolutely love a fleet of miniature Steve
Why
Carells.
do you keep saying a fleet?
I don't know, an army of miniature Steve Carells
Right.
who are just
Are they proportionate as well? They're just really little.
yeah, they're just really little. They're not like dwarfish versions of him. Like they're not like in the new
They're
Disney
just
Snow White thing.
proportionately small.
Yeah, and they're all just constantly saying, "That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said." And every time you say anything even remotely, "That's what she said," like you have to listen to like 16 of them over the course of about 5 minutes say, "That's what she said."
That's what she said.
yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Can I change the tone now and tell you a personal story about house spirits?
Please do.
Please do. Now,
In terms of like the tone that you're setting, do I need to be serious for a minute?
no, absolutely. You don't have to be serious, but like it was a bit traumatizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
But do you know what I mean? Like even like shitting your pants in public would be traumatizing, but funny.
Yeah.
This is not funny.
Humor even okay. Okay. So is this like Patrick Swayze dad level?
Yeah. Well, let's just get into it. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. Blah blah blah. Always mentioning it. Blah blah blah. Because it's like shaped so much of my young childhood, etc. I was like that until like age of 19. I left home at 15, and fucked around in and out of it for a while until I was almost 20, and then I was like, that's it, I'm totally done by now. Completely drifted off from that. But growing up, okay, my mum went through a phase, may she rest in peace. My mum went through a phase where she was believing, and she never stopped believing in this, but like this phase was basically how it was a phase that affected me, basically. So she went through a phase of believing that demons inhabited her home. Okay. And what that would mean is that in the corner of her eye she'd see something, or she'd wake up like having a bad dream, or she'd have like hallucinations in the real world. I think other people in my family as well had these same beliefs. They were like corroborating these stories and stuff like that. And what it basically ended up being is that they believed that spirits were inhabiting or latching onto certain objects in the house. Okay. And that would be like, for example, something that you've bought at a car boot. Or like a garage sale if you're from the US, or whatever you have, like a car trunk. Like no one goes to a car trunk, do they? Yeah. I don't know what they call a car boot in the US.
Garage sale, isn't it?
I guess so, but it's not necessarily like if they fuck it, doesn't matter. Like doesn't matter. But yeah, you're missing out. You don't have a car boot. You have to go to a garage sale. How about take all of your garages to a field and sell stuff there? You're not going to do that, are you? Because your garage doesn't have wheels. So that's why the UK will always be better than the US, because we have car boot sales.
Yeah, they do have them. They're just called something we don't know.
No, they don't, Tom.
Why are you so angry today? Just go have a walk, go chill out.
So anyway, like car boot sales, they're full of like, used stuff, and you don't know who's had them first. Maybe they've been dabbling in some sort of like
Black magic.
Black magic. The black magic.
That's the soundbite.
Magicanero.
Yep.
That's the soundbite, yeah? Okay.
It's like a radio station where we just replay the black magic.
Yeah. So anyway, so in our house was loads of stuff, including all of my childhood clothes, all of my toys and stuff like that. And what ended up happening was we had to gather up all of these things, and everyone did it because they were very scared. I was not. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Even though I was the youngest person in the house. What's going on with these people? And we took all of the stuff outside and burnt it in a big bonfire.
Do you mind me asking you a question?
Go for it.
What was the like inciting incident of why everyone believed there was like like a bad object in the house. There must have been something that pushed that forward.
I don't think I want to reveal like full stories about people that who knows may stumble across this, but I think it's fair. Like, you know, my mum would like hallucinate and see, like, for example, like maggots on my face. Like, you know, as I said, may she rest in peace. She's not with us anymore. You know, and then like my siblings and things like that would also report certain like events and things like that where they've almost like felt like a presence and maybe like, you know, something touching them and stuff like that. So yeah, like proper like they were acting like this. We were in the Poltergeist film, sort of plot sort of thing. But yeah, like it drove them to the point where they thought it was a good idea to just gather up everything that could possibly, you know, be tainted in some way and burn it all. Okay. So that was fun. And that happened several times in my childhood. And no doubt there's other people out there who were like, you know, in the Jehovah's Witness faith who have very, very similar stories, because they come to your door and they're like, oh, hey, you know, have you heard about like, you know, you can live forever and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But then also they are like crazy, superstitious, I guess is the word, or you know, they
Intense.
They totally believe that, you know, angels and demons are fighting above us, you know, maybe in another dimension. I don't know exactly the science behind it and how it works and stuff like that. But yeah, and you know, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're going to get targeted by these spirits of the devil,
like attach themselves. And we see that in like popular fiction a lot, don't we? This idea that something comes into the house. I mean, Annabelle the doll was very much this, but it's not always like a humanistic object. Just it's something that's got like a shared history, right? And there's so many like TV shows and films that have that exact plot. The foreign object comes into the house. They can't work out what it is. They finally work out it's a foreign object, and they get rid of it just in time before everyone dies. Yeah, it's like a popular plot point, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you had any sort of like haunting? And I don't want this episode to be about like haunting or anything like that, but have you had any sort of like seeing stuff in your house or anything like that?
No, stuff? I mean, the only hallucinations I've ever had have been due to medical drugs, baby.
Nice.
So no kind of like out of body experiences. I mean, I have, and maybe you mentioned it on a previous episode, I have suffered from like sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But I don't see that as the same thing, because I'm quite clearly aware once I'm awake that what I was perceiving was me in REM sleep and still in a dreamlike state. So I guess you could say, yes, I've seen things, but never in a state where I feel like I was awake.
Okay.
My family, though, report like that. So my nana lived in like this 3-story like up down house. It's really old kind of house that was like just council house that was passed from person to person, and they lived there for a while I was really young, and my mum kind of grew up in the house, and they reported like really strange things throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I do remember one time just seeing like a little like figure at the top of the stairs, but not enough to be like, oh yeah, well, no, I definitely had a ghostly experience.
Yeah.
It was more. It could have been anything, right? It could have been something.
Yeah. But also, they're telling you these stories, and then
and I think that influences you, doesn't it? My mum swears blind that there were a couple of occasions where a little girl sat next to her, and then seemed to be not like, you know, not tangible in the next minute.
Yeah. My dad would tell like ghost stories and that sort of thing, and like fully sort of like believe like, oh, I saw what I saw, and it would be like, you know, things that are like objects floating and stuff like that. I'm calling bollocks on it, but like it's like maybe it's like a generational thing. Yeah. Like earlier generations have more of a belief in that.
When you delve deep into a lot of these, and I think it's the same with spirits, right? When you delve deep into what people have seen, quite often it's late at night.
Yeah.
There is an
Low
element
light.
of low light or mist or something that's hard
Yeah.
to perceive. And quite often it's just before you've woke up or just as you're getting to sleep.
Yeah.
When the chemicals of like sleep are being released essentially. So
Yeah.
you're, and quite often if you've woken up in the middle of the night and you see something, well, you still could be with, that those chemicals could be making you see those things. I genuinely do believe that my mum and my nana believed what they saw.
Yeah.
I do not think for a second that they would lie for the sake of lying.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that is a tangible thing, though. I think science can explain that.
Absolutely. And we're talking about like houses and stuff like that. Like there's stories about people like seeing things and kind of like hallucinating and stuff like that. And literally what they're seeing is stuff that's conjured through like black molds in their house and stuff like that.
Mold spores and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it can cause like hallucinations and stuff. So maybe you just lived in a moldy house.
And it could be like because it's always really old houses, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
people have this, and they have those shared hallucinations, but often they would have found that information out subconsciously somewhere else.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to dispel hauntings.
Yeah, it would just be really nice to at least get one on camera, like a lot of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so moving on. Again, we're in this situation where we're looking at like the Western like viewpoint of all of these things, and
Yeah.
it seems quite negative. Even like the house elves and stuff like that, they'll fuck you over, like
Yeah.
proper.
We're a grumpy side of the world.
Yeah, yeah. But there are Eastern beliefs as well. Last week I talked about Tsukumogami,
Yeah.
but there's also Zashiki Warashi as well to have a look at as well. So just a quick recap. Start again. Tsukumogami is like, for example, like a tool or an object that gains spirits after 100 years. So as soon as it reaches that 100-year point, it can gain a spirit.
It's like the spirit equivalent of like say you're not a master of something until you give it till 10,000 hours. Same
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it becomes an expert. And
Absolutely.
It becomes sentient.
Absolutely. And I don't like we were talking about like, oh, do you see anything in your house as having that? But like just put it into context, like I don't have anything that's like 100 years old. Like do you know what I mean? Like you could go get something from an antique, but it's not been in your house for 100 years.
And I think
And maybe that's the differentiation.
That's the difference between Eastern and Western culture, right? They will have a lot of stuff that is passed down culturally, whereas since the industrialization, we are changing so quickly that everything is new.
Yeah. So yeah. These objects can come alive and play tricks, or even become violent if neglected. So you can't neglect these old items. You've got to keep using them.
Like, can you imagine basically like your butcher's knife being like a Tamagotchi, and because you haven't used it, it fucking stabs you up?
I just wouldn't have the hassle, to be honest with you. On 99 years, I'm selling that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the best thing to do, isn't it?
Well, that's probably what people did, right?
Anything in my house that I haven't invited, get fucked. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Walk in and be like, yeah, nice coffee table, but it's not mine. Piss off.
But there's also others as well. So we're going to look at Zashiki Warashi, which is a childlike spirit in traditional homes, and it brings good fortune if treated well, and leaves when offended, taking the luck with it. Oh, it's pretty much the Eastern version of what's the word? The house hob or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's called its name broken down is parlor child or sitting room kid.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a living room child in your house?
Well, I have a child,
Yeah, and it's in the living room?
like an actual child.
Yeah. So that's Zashiki Warashi then, isn't it?
Well, no, because he's an actual like chap, isn't he?
How are we making the definition here? Just when you invite people round,
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, look at your little boy." It's like, "What? Oh, you're seeing the Zarshiki Warashi.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
Like, if he appears to you, that's good luck. Well
yeah,
done.
Yeah. But don't annoy him.
Yeah.
Because then he'll piss
He's
off.
not really here. Don't touch him.
Yeah.
So, Tom, your Zashiki Warashi is to shit itself. Oh, it's
Not
not my problem, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not
but
really-
be careful if you don't change him.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad luck. Bad luck. So it often appears as a child, usually between 5 and 10 years old, and it's often depicted with bobbed hair for some reason, wearing old-fashioned kimonos or peasant clothes. It can be of an ambiguous gender, but often leads towards female in modern depictions. No doubt this has been in loads of horror films.
Yeah.
The Japanese love a good horror film.
I'm just thinking like any Junji Ito work.
Yeah.
There's always like an
little kid.
androgynous kid
That's stuck in the living room.
that's in a kimono.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few like short horror films as well where there's people approach them and
Yeah.
and they like ignore them and then like stuff goes south very quickly.
So it's rarely seen, and it's usually by the head of the household or young children.
Okay.
In your household, are you the head?
No, because I want to go home tonight. I don't know if that modern convention fits
Yeah.
my sort of
I mean,
thing at home.
my
Are you-
wife's
are
my
you
wife's
head?
the head of the household.
Oh, okay.
I'm like the butt, I guess. Right.
I'm not sure there is a head or a butt. I think we're just
You're just
people
headless,
trying to
a headless body.
trying to make it work.
A Zashiki Warashi brings wealth and good fortune to the households it resides in, and if the spirit leaves, it's a bad omen. Prosperity can vanish, and sometimes misfortune follows. Some legends suggest families go bankrupt or even die once the Warashi disappears. It's known for playing pranks, moving objects, making footprints in ash, laughing at night, which is always fun. Like, you've sorted out your dripping tap, and now there's just a
Some little
disembodied giggle.
Fucker in your head, just going like they're in One Piece.
Dobby is a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it likes toys, sweets, and attention, much like any child. And so you offer it small gifts and candy. and
Sounds
things
hard
like that.
work.
Yeah, all of this is hard work. And I don't know why people are doing this to themselves. Like, life is more difficult in the past.
Yeah.
And I guess they don't have TV to fill
Maybe
up
they're
some of that
bored.
space.
Maybe all this is boredom.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, to be fair, this Zashiki kid, if it was living in a modern living room, is probably watched so much fucking TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Peppa Pig on repeat.
exactly. Peppa Pig. Like, you're watching In the Night Garden with your son at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a fate worse than death.
And you know how I feel about costumed characters.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
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 Awful.
Awful. So yeah, that's probably why they died out. They've decided to
Go and watch TV.
where they've like, they're
Leicester
done with
Square
that.
looking at the big other Washa Wookies.
Sashiki Warashi.
Washiki.
You make fun of me, all right, for my
I'm
accents. This is why you do the
I'm
accent.
trying.
All right, here's it read out. Go
Okay,
on, do a
I've
proper.
got a big sheet.
Yeah.
Where am I looking? Sashiki Warashi.
That's absolutely not what's being read.
Sashiki
Written.
Warashi. Zashiki Warashi, the child spirit of the home.
There you go.
I can read, shut up.
Yeah, you did it eventually, didn't you?
Go there.
All right. Okay. So, these originally came from the Iwate prefecture of northern Japan, especially around a place called Torno, which is a region famous for yokai legends.
Yeah.
Which is something that we'll talk about in an episode. I think we could.
I'm really into yokai, so
Yeah. I think it's really cool. And yeah, like, I want to dedicate some proper time to yokai though. There's some cool like books that originate all of these things or collect up all of these folk stories and stuff that are really cool. But yeah, I like it very much. So yeah. Okay, you ready for the Chinese version of all of this wonderfulness?
I am always ready for Chinese. Sorry, that sounds
That sounds all right.
Does
That
that
sounds
sound-
just like you're
sound-
hungry.
inappropriate.
No? Are
Okay.
you inclined? Are you quite attracted to the old Chinese? Tom?
Food or women?
It,
Yes to both.
oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's good to know. All right.
What would you possibly do with that information?
Good.
Chinese order bride for my birthday.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
And she's brought a takeaway with her.
Oh, homemade Chinese food.
Well, I could do that for you. I'm pretty good.
You are very
Dab
good at
hands.
that,
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you just
you're
want
just wanting me to make you some more food, aren't you? That's what that was.
Yeah,
I saw
I'll
that.
plug it every week if you're gonna make me dumplings again.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try this out. Okay. This is the stove god. All right.
Stove.
The stove god.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, like what you cook on. Yeah. Zhao Jun. Yeah. So the Lord of the Hearth. Yeah. The hearth being, I guess, the stove, the place where you're cooking,
Yeah.
etc. I think that we were trying to explain what a hearth was. I think it might just be more than that. More like that. It's either,
Yeah,
you know.
I was thinking about it. I think it is like the fireplace bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
being the-
Yeah. So it's a Taoist household deity who watches over families' morality, fortune, and behaviour. Okay. He lives in the kitchen stove. He lives in the kitchen
a
stove.
god, and he's just chilling in the kitchen stove.
Absolutely. I'm assuming that there's one in each house. Bit mad. Thus, the kitchen stove was originally the spiritual center of any sort of Chinese home, and it's the same with, like, you know, all of these things. It's like you're leaving a stool out in your kitchen for the brownie to use, and there's other such things like that, isn't there? He's also known as the kitchen immortal.
Oh,
Yeah. So they serve as a kind of heavenly bureaucrat, okay? And once a year, just before the Lunar New Year, he ascends to heaven to give a report on the household's behaviour to the Jade Emperor. Okay. And based on this report, the family's luck, prosperity, or misfortune for the coming year is determined.
that dude's busier than Santa.
Absolutely, that's crazy, isn't it? So basically, I mean, it's just before the Lunar New Year, so it's basically their version of Father Christmas.
Yeah.
And he lives in the cooker. And do you know what? They've done a really, really good job with that. So they've basically taken Father Christmas and gone, oh, the West have got that. That's shit. We can improve that, much like they do with a lot of things, I guess. But what they've done is like, right, okay, let's make Christmas, but without
Steam
any
cooker.
gifts.
Yeah.
All right. And link this still to the idea of behaviour and stuff like that. And also because I can't be fucking like going off to the living room, stuff like that, to moan at people. I'm going to get them to come into the kitchen. All right. So yeah, stove god.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a look, kids. All right, you better fucking behave, because there is a fuck it. There's a god in the cooker. All right,
Yeah.
and he's gonna talk to the man upstairs. Yeah.
And there's millions of him because he's in every cooker. They're like the ultimate Megazord. They all just get, like, if everyone's like mugging him off, they just all of the parts of him just start to form into a giant. Cooker
One
god.
part's in the cooker, like one part's the fridge.
No, I'm saying like it gathers up from all the households.
Oh, all of the households. Yeah. Just
Like
forms
when-
this immense, huge metallic being.
Like when Goku summons all the energy from the spirit bomb.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's him.
Yeah.
He's the spirit bomb.
The ritual is that you place a paper effigy of Xiaoxun above the stove, usually alongside a red altar scroll with calligraphy. Okay. On the 23rd or 24th day of the 12th lunar month, how interesting, how close is that? His image is ritually burned so he can rise to heaven in the smoke. So it's kind of different. But before that, offerings are made to sweeten his report. So he quite likes a sticky rice cake. Who doesn't?
Yeah, I'd ask for that too.
Nian Gao?
Sorry.
That's what you call a sticky rice cake. Nyan gao. What?
I
thought it was pretty good.
I'll let the audience decide if that's okay.
Hopefully, we've got some approving nods going.
Yeah, obviously, Nangao.
Yeah. Or they smear honey on the lips of his image.
It's pretty fucking weird, isn't it?
Look, when we like mention other cultures' ideas, you can't go, that's pretty weird. Yeah. I know I've done it a couple of times in this episode
I think
as
I do
well.
it all the time.
Yeah. All right. So the honey's put on his lips so he can't speak ill, or he only says sweet things.
Feels a bit manipulative, doesn't it?
It does. But this whole thing is manipulative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's face it. So yeah, it just means that the stove is not just a place to cook, it's the hearth, it's a source of transformation, alchemical nourishment, and ancestral communion. So Zhaozhen is believed to be aware of everything that happens in the home, even if you masturbate, Tom. Even if you masturbate.
Does it specifically say that in your research notes?
No, it doesn't.
It says, he sees you when you're sleeping. He watches you masturbate.
You can close your doors, you can close your curtains, but Zhaozhen still sees you.
Yeah.
And he likes what he sees. Give me that honey.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So he embodies the idea that spiritual presence can reside in domestic tools, and it's a perfect example of animism in practice. Do you remember what animism is?
For less educated viewers, because I clearly remember everything about it. What is animatism? Animalism.
Not that.
Animal
magnetism. Well, that's what you
magnetism.
see before you, but we're talking about something different. Animism is so basically it's a belief that everything has a spirit, including furniture, walls, and tools, and things like that. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, anim. I think that's like related an awful lot to things that move, things that are alive, and things like that. You know, and you think of animation, bringing images to life, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. And yeah, like animism is like central to things like Shinto and other things like that, but also, you know, it's in European folk customs and other things like that. But yeah, so that is Zhaozhen, okay? Father Christmas, but he's confined to your cooker and he watches you masturbate.
Yeah. That's what you got from that, was it?
Absolutely. Do you not think that Father Christmas watches you masturbate, Tom?
Oh, yeah, he's a right little creep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, his little white reindeer softly landing on the roof, coming down the chimney.
Presents in his sack.
Yeah.
In his sack, Tom.
His ball sack.
That's it. He's got lots of balls in his ball sack. Yeah.
I mean, whenever you see a depiction of Santa, his presents are always like square boxes, right?
Yeah.
And then he just keeps pulling them out. And that annoys me.
Why?
Because you can only stack those because they're all the same shaped boxes as well. You
Yeah.
can only stack so many.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're a D&D fan. You know about magic sacks, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You're going to tell me he's got some, like, inventory bag in there?
Look, okay, like, think about it this way, all right? Not every house has a chimney, but how does Father Christmas, like, visit everyone? He just magically...
Can he get into your keyhole? Can he, like, go into dust and get in your keyhole?
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Do you know why, Tom? And this is a
Why?
bombshell. Because he doesn't exist.
Don't listen, folks. Remember, we are not experts. We cannot categorically say that he doesn't exist. We can't.
Categorically.
We can't.
Categorically.
Can't do it.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you know, I could list a bunch of things that don't exist. Santa's not one of them.
Okay, all right. Do you know what? I'm being a bit of a horrible person here. Father Christmas does exist.
In our hearts.
In our hearts, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully we'll have some more energy next week. What are we doing next week? What would you like to do next week?
Hopefully you're not going to get pissed before the day before we shoot.
Yes, yeah, but I did enjoy myself. That was good.
Yeah, you did. Nobody else did.
Or to be fair though, you were a bit inappropriate.
Oh, right, yeah, of course I was.
Yeah. A lot of stroking going on.
Yeah.
I remember you winking at me at one point.
Is everyone picking up that I was not the one that I was the one this was being done to?
You were the receiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't want to be the receiver.
Maybe you love it.
Maybe I love it. So, speaking of, what are we doing next week? What am I going to be receiving next week?
Tell you what, I'll let you decide. Go on.
What right now? I'm more than happy, and feel free to poo-hoo this because you will just like slap me down live. Let's go on to yokai.
Okay. Let's do a bit of yokai because there's so much there.
Bit of yokai.
A bit of yokai. Do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And yeah. And look,
Yokai part 1 and maybe part 2 next year.
absolutely. And we have Twitters, don't we? Oh, no one uses Twitter anymore. Ugh, blah, blah.
What was it? X.
Yeah, but no one uses that either.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, Instagram, we're on all of that shite. Okay,
Yep.
and we often post letting you know that there's a new episode coming out. Why don't you, if you are interested in getting in touch and making suggestions on what we can do an episode about?
Audience interactive, baby.
Get off your fucking lazy ass and just type
We're
that
nearly
out.
at 30. We guarantee success. Be here before we're successful.
Absolutely. Once that hits 30 mark, guys, okay, you've only got 9 left at this point in time.
I'm going to stop pretending that I'm friends with you because I'll be famous.
Absolutely.
I'm coming with shades. We'll secretly hate each other.
We'll jump to 300,000 downloads per second, and you won't get a
And then you'll be nothing to me unless you were those early adopters on social media.
That's it. So yeah, happy to give you a little shout out as well. Just give us an idea of what you want to, what strange topic that you find strange.
Because there's plenty, and sometimes when we're coming up with them, we already know those topics. So having something from you guys where we can really delve into something new, that'd be really exciting.
And sometimes we're just tired and a bit mopey.
You're very tired.
Hungover. Yeah.
You regret your actions.
And it's just so busy as well. So help us out. Go on. We're not even charging for this, you fucks.
Yeah, do some fucking work for once, you
fucking
lazy bastards.
You know what? I can't even look at your face right now. I'm just going to... Thanks for listening. Here's a disclaimer. We are not experts. We can easily get things wrong in an episode. Our intention is to explore and open up the possibilities for further exploration. Come find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. We would love some interaction. Also, if you can consider supporting us on Patreon, that would help a bunch. Search for 2, that's number 2, Strange Men Pod, all one word. Until next time, keep it strange.